Today we're going to look at value add. And they're going to take just a quick look. You're going to get more in depth in the next test, test 2. Identify constraints and implement value add processes. Continuous improvement. So the first one is lean manufacturing. Differ according to the application at hand, but they have the same underlying principles. So you're eliminating all the non-value added activities waste. So lean production employs a set of principles and practices to reduce costs, the relentless removal of waste. Focus on activities results in speed of process and time reduction. And the lean factory cannot achieve its full potential if it must work with non-lean suppliers and subcontractors. Yeah. If you want to know more about lean, you can click on this here. I think this is the ASC, American Society of Quality. Yeah, these guys will tell you more about everything you want to know about lean. So here's the 7 wastes, or the 7 mudas from Japanese of lean. So you want to do as little of these as possible. And some of them you don't want to do at all. Over-processing, overproduction, and waiting you don't want to do, and defects. But moving inventory and transportation as little as possible. And then here's the 8 waste check sheet that somebody from our group put together, which is kind of cool. And it's just a check sheet that they put together. You can go and put high, low, medium. Visual management. Problems and product status highly visible. So this is your signs and your statuses on the manufacturing floor. And this will tell you more about what it looks like. But you want stuff marked, basically. And there's some other areas we'll cover that will cover this also. Value stream mapping. This is flowchart documenting every step in the process. Generally, purchasing doesn't have the background to do value stream mapping. This is usually done by quality because they're more engineering oriented or manufacturing engineering oriented. But you can help out with this. And if you can get suppliers that go along, you can do one big value stream map from tier 3 up to us. Performance measures, overall equipment effectiveness. You hear this bandied about a lot, OEE. And if you want to know all about OEE, it's right here. So it's availability, is the machine available? Performance, did you get the number of parts made that you thought you'd get made, and the quality of those parts? And you calculate all that. It's called overall equipment effectiveness. They also have an overall labor effectiveness, but the OEE is more common. And OEEs, there should be 70s, 80s. If they're down in the 60s, that's kind of lame. Calculated by availability, percentage of scheduled time available to operate. So if you're doing maintenance on your machine that's not available, performance speed at which the center runs, how fast can you make the parts, and the quality of the parts. Here's another one, predetermined motion time system. I wouldn't worry too much about this. I haven't seen any questions on it. But lean processes, specify value, create the value stream map, eliminate the waste, and then you want to do it at the pull of a customer, not batches. Pursuit of perfection. So then you got another one. It's called just in time. Or if you go to our factory floor, the guys that work there will tell you it stands for just isn't there. But JIT is an inventory management strategy. It's aimed at monitoring the process in such manner as to minimize the cost. It has just enough inventory on hand. So if you got a supplier with quality problems and he's a JIT supplier, you're going to have big problems. Involves understanding how much of a given item is needed to maintain production. Know how long it'll take for the item to be shipped from the supplier. So you got to know what the lead time is. Anticipate the life or usage of the item. How many items are you using a day? And the means that records are kept make it possible to place a new order. So usually you do this with Kanbans or order flags. You use up one Kanban and you size the Kanban so that the second Kanban will last long enough to get new parts. Waste reduction, throughput for the buyer increases, less space is needed to store inventory, should reduce lead times. It has to increase quality because you can't have a JIT supplier that doesn't have good quality. It's not going to work out well for you. And then they've got JIT2, and there's an article here if you want to read more about it, started by the Bose Corp. So basically, if we were to implement JIT2 at our plants, we would replace our plant planners with personnel from our suppliers. And they would manage that inventory. So that wouldn't be PACK-RP personnel, it would be supplier personnel. That's kind of what JIT2 is all about. And then everybody's favorite, the 5S system. Sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. And this should give us this is more ASQ. Well, I guess that one I gotta hook up again. And this is some kind of assessment. Well, it takes forever to open some of these things, so we'll move along. And everybody's favorite, Six Sigma. Quality tools and philosophies. And what their whole deal is to reduce variation. More of a cost reduction oriented strategy. Black belts, green belts, champions. And you'll see test questions on this. It follows the equation y is equal to a function of x. Y is the dependent variable, and function of x is the independent variable. But Six Sigma is all about being out in the Six Sigma. I think it's less than 3 defects per million opportunities. And you'll get more of this in test 2 also. And then you've got Lean Six Sigma, focuses on what customers consider critical to quality. So both Lean Six Sigma and Six Sigma use this DMAIC process. But in Lean Six Sigma, you determine what the customer's critical to quality needs are first, and then you do a value stream map and identify the waste. And then you go into Six Sigma and the accurate data measurement to reduce variation. So that's Lean Six Sigma, kind of combines the two. Root cause analysis, the 5 whys in the fishbone diagram. So you've got 5 whys here. Here's a template for you. You just keep asking why 5 times to get to the root cause. You also have a fishbone analysis, if I can find it. But the fishbone diagram is PowerPoint. It's got a few different versions of it. And the corrective action process, otherwise known as a CAR. Of course, we don't call it that here. We call it a spirit off plan back on track. So the corrective action report, also failure reporting and corrective action system. We can't just call it a CAR. Kaizen, Japanese for change for better, applied to measures for implementing continuous improvement. So you got a couple of different types of Kaizen. You go out onto the factory floor and you do a point or a system or a line, plane, cube, number of different types of Kaizen, but it's basically getting people together on the floor and looking at a problem and trying to solve it there. Integration of technology. So so technology can eliminate the bullwhip effect if you're ordering by 3x5 cards, how we used to do it. Relationship software and cloud computing also help supply chains and integrated information systems. That buying organization can share production plans with suppliers and do a better job of helping them plan inventory. Then there's business case analysis, another improvement method. So business cases are going to look at certain things. Why do you need this program? What are the costs? What are the benefits? What are the alternatives? And what are the risks? I'm sure PACCAR has a business case format somewhere. I haven't been able to find it, but one that comes from, I think, government. But it has the basic things: executive summary, needs analysis, consultation, cost benefit analysis, due diligence, risk analysis, governance. Those are the basic things for a business case. And then supplier recognitions and awards. So these are incentives for continuous improvement. So annual supplier meetings like our SPM meeting, it's good recognition for doing a good job. Rewards, plaques, which we give out at SPM, but also more business is what the supplier really wants. Lunches and dinners, that type of thing. Contracts should include a list of programs and processes that qualify for continuous improvement initiatives, how improvement savings will be calculated, and what incentives will be awarded. Supplier intervention. Buying organization provides resources and assistance to supplier. Usually done with smaller suppliers or diverse suppliers. Six Sigma tools and training are a lot of the things that we can give them. And then forecasting. Supplier bottlenecks and constraints can be a major source of delay. So you want your suppliers to be able to forecast their ability to meet our demands in the future. What is their capacity? So involvement, scenario planning, continuous improvement tools, Lean and Six Sigma, and value stream mapping, etc. All right, Six Sigma can best be described as what? Anybody got any guesses on this?
A.
I go with A because it's got the 3 million stated in there, which is usually the answer for Six Sigma. Yep, A it is. Let's do one more here. In a production GIT environment, which of the following is the most critical issue when selecting a supplier? What do you guys think? What's the one thing that can go wrong with GIT? You got very little inventory.
Quality. B.
If you got crappy quality, this is not going to work out well for you. That better be the answer. D it is. All right. So there's 8 questions out there. Why don't you guys go ahead and start working them? Raise your hand when you get done. Otherwise, we'll go over answers at 2:25. All right, let's go over some answers here. Number 1 is Delta Six Sigma. It's the one that has defects of less than 3 per million opportunities. 2 is Bravo, seamless value-added process throughout an organization, meets a customer's real end needs. Supply chain management. 3, it's also Bravo. Incoming material can be used without any problem, but is slightly out of spec. Want to know what the issue is. 4 is Alpha. Quality inspection should not be necessary. In other words, it is a non-value added process and can be eliminated. And 5 is Bravo. Final inspection may stop the forward progress of a defective unit, but that does not solve the problem. Adding more final inspection is never a solution. Or retraining. Your suppliers will tell you that they're retraining. That's not a solution either. 6 is Bravo. Lean manufacturing practices are about eliminating waste. 7 is Alpha. Six Sigma at its core is a system to help reduce the variability in the manufacturing process. And 8 is also Alpha. Lean Six Sigma concentrates on what the customer considers critical to quality. Any questions? All right. That's it for the E section. Tomorrow we'll do some questions. You guys can get practiced up. Talk to you later.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.